Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a pick a card reading to find out where will you find your next success. This is going to be such a beautiful reading, and if you have been looking for some guidance and you feel stuck in your life, you want some guidance from your spirit guides as to how you should chart your way forward now, then this is the reading for you. If you want to get your reading, I need you to pick one of these three piles that I have prepared for you. Pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. So when you're making your selection, you may feel drawn to the colors of the card, or you may feel drawn to the crystals that I have placed on these cards, or the characteristics of the crystals. Anything that you feel is, has that unexplainable magnetic pull, then that is your indication, then that is your pile. Okay, so for pile 1, we have this beautiful crystal of red carnelian. For pile 2, we have the flower agate. And for pile 3, we have fluorite. Okay, my loves, so use your intuition to see which of these three piles do you feel the most drawn towards. You may feel drawn towards the characteristics of the crystal, or the color of the piles, or the color of the cards. You may also try to put your hand towards each of these piles and see if you feel a magnetic pull. Sometimes when your intuition is not working, then this is also something that is quite helpful in making your pile selection. Once you have selected your pile, then you can go to the timestamp that I have provided in the description box to hop on to your pile. Take as much time as you need to make your selection. You can pause the video here if you need to. And I'm going to start your reading now. See you in your reading. Bye. So if you choose pile 1, then this is your reading. So first, in order to get the overall theme of your reading, we are going to roll the astro dice. Okay, so we have Uranus in the sign of Taurus in the second house. Wow. Okay, so first of all, the planet of Uranus. Uranus is a planet of radical transformation, innovation, unorthodox thinking. So you're going to have a lot of changes in your life connected to the themes related to the house in which Uranus is transiting. So, you might want to look up your birth chart and see where is Uranus transiting right now. Second house is the house of values. What do you give value to? What is your wealth? What is your personal value system, your family, your speech, your face? And Taurus. Taurus is the natural second house, and it's also ruled by Venus. Taurus talks about material pleasures, everything that makes us want to live life more. So if there is something that is very risky and you're not sure as to how that will happen, then this is your spirit guide's way of saying that go for it. That particular business opportunity is going to be so successful for you, and it can be something very, very different because Uranus is a planet of unorthodox thinking. So if there is a particular venture that is not historically making money, or if you look at other peers in that business, they're not really making money, you can still go for it. Your spirit guides are saying you're going to find your biggest success there. You might end up having the first mover advantage. You started a business that no one really saw potential in, and now you are making millions in it. This is your sign to go after your dreams and to start working on that passion project. Okay, let's get more information. We have the Conqueror of Pentacles, guys. This is the King of Pentacles transformation that is going to be coming in your career, and especially when it comes to your wealth. As I was saying, right, the first mover advantage, what you need to be doing in order to get that success is to have faith in yourself. Because if you look at the King of Pentacles does not require validation of their ideas from anyone else. They know what they offer, they believe in their plan, they have their business plan, they know what steps they're going to take, and they go after it. And King of Pentacles is energy which is very rooted in practicality. You're going to have massive. Okay, we have Conqueror of Chalices. King of Cups, I feel as if this is the passion project. This is something that actually makes sense to you. This is something that is going to bring you the maximum fulfillment. And I think that is why it also leads to that level of success. Oh, we have the Fates, which is the Wheel of Fortune, guys. Definitely pile one. It's like, I wish I had selected this pile, right? It's so beautiful. Your fortune is about to change, which is exactly what I felt with Uranus in the second house in Taurus. There is some massive success that is trying to come to you. And if you think this is a particular message that may vibe with some of you, but I feel as if you have been facing some obstacles in your current job or current business, or you are having, some breakups in your relationships, it could be even in friendships, right? But I feel as if there is some big venture that is now just knocking at you to be implemented, and you won't be able to miss this destiny. Anything that is not in alignment with this particular destiny is just going to be falling out. So if you think that, oh, my current job, I'm having so many issues in this current venture and the current job, know that it does not align with this big project that you need to work on, this big purpose that you have, and it's going to be something massive. It may also involve helping others. So if you have a passion project in your mind, which really calls to you, but at the same time, it's also going to be helping others, then that's your sign. But you definitely need to hear that inkling that you have. You need to start working on your passion project. It's calling out for you. If you think that currently things are falling out of place, or people are falling out of your life, let them is the thing I would say right now, because this is the time for you to get in alignment with your soul purpose. This is a beautiful calling for you now, and I think you will not be able to miss it. It's almost destined for you. Oh my God. Trust the call. Exactly what I was saying. You are feeling a soul calling. It's calling you now. And this also has that lone wolf sort of an energy. You might have to tread this path a little bit alone. You might feel as if you need to let go of the current foundation, the current relationships even. I really feel as if it might bring a lone wolf energy, but actually in the long term, it's going to be good for you. Because if you're doing something that's so radically different from the society, it's probably good to just listen to, your own soul calling. Others are not hearing that. And if you hear their views, their opinions, your own soul calling may get clouded. So I think it's very good for you. Trust your own call and listen to only what makes sense to you. Don't get lost in the noise of the people. They might mean well, but I don't think they have the same calling that you have, and that's why it's important for you to hear it. It's time to shine. Wow, Paiwan. It is your time to shine. And see how this tiger is looking in its own reflection, which almost shows its subconscious. It's not going to make sense to others. I really feel as if you already have an idea unraveling. The time for you is now to trust your intuition. Okay, you know what it is that you need to work towards. You might have to walk it a little bit alone. In the initial time period, you might feel as if everything is unraveling, anything that you have known is changing. But Spirit is saying no, that's okay. You're just coming into alignment with your higher timeline, and this beautiful reality is opening up for you. You're leaving what is dark and gloomy, and you're entering this beautiful reality. And so be open to that change. If you have to let go of some relationships, or you have to let go of job or your known way of making money, it's okay. Trust that you're supported and something really beautiful is manifesting for you. Master, discipline, working smart, focus, structure, teaching. I feel as if this thing might require you to master your art, and that's why maybe this lone energy is very good for you right now. You need to lock in and master whatever it is, whether that's your skill, whether that's your mindset, whether that's learning how to launch a new business. And a lot can come with launching a new business, right? And I think this is the time for you to start mastering your skills. It's just knowing a little bit is not enough. If you want this massive level of success, you now have to be the master at what you do. Library, the same thing. I feel this is a time for you to definitely lock in and work on your knowledge base, your skills. Let's take one more. Symphony, energy, team. And we have yoga, contemplation, deep breath, go within. Yes, so I think that is the theme that's coming again and again. This is the time for you to lock in, pile one. If you have been asking Spirit, how will you get your next success? Spirit's message is clear to you. You need to lock in and work on your craft. Anything that you want more information on, anything that you want to improve can be done on internet now. And so that is your message. You need to find your flow, right? And that flow actually can sometimes be obtained, I have seen, only, when we are able to lock in, set aside some time, and really work on our craft. If you already have a lot of obstacles, if you have a lot of disturbances, something or the other is bothering you, you're not really able to, have that flow, the work flow where you set aside 3-4 hours and just focus on that thing, then I think Spirit's message is that now you need to do that. And when you sit in that flow state, I think as if that's where we're able to come up with these transformational ideas and how to implement that. And that is going to be so important for you. A lot of things are written on this one also, inner child healing, meditation, chakras, yoga. And I feel as if working on your inner self, which is something that we got here on that tiger card as well, right? Like working on your own subconscious, your own unconscious, whether that's your inner child, whether that's your chakras, that is going to give you the direction. You don't have to ask for direction from tarot readings. You don't have to ask for direction from people. You know it. And if you don't know, if you're not able to access it, then you need to find ways to go within. That's the only thing that can help you. You are meant for massive success, but you need to be able to lock in and find that inner guidance. Let's see any final piece of advice that Spirit Guides have for you. Listen to the messages of your dreams. I think Spirit is really nailing this point in this reading. You need to start listening to the messages in your dreams. You need to start listening to your subconscious. Actually, dreams are a really good segue into understanding our subconscious. So if you have nowhere to start, then start here. Start maintaining a dream journal. So every time you wake up, just write down whatever you have been seeing in your dreams, okay, as vague as it might be. And then after you have maintained that for a while, then start looking at what is the recurring theme. And then maybe try to understand what is it trying to tell you. And that's where maybe your answer lies. We also ask your dreams a question. when you need an answer. So this is something you can do before going to sleep. You can think about your question, whether that's, is this business good or not? What is going to be the next step? Anything that you feel stuck over, and then just go to sleep and then see what kind of dreams you have. Another thing I've seen that helps is, what are the first thoughts? Like, I have noticed sometimes you wake up with some thoughts in the morning. Like, it happens a couple of times with me. If I have been stuck on something, the first thought in the morning is going to be like the solution. So be very careful, not just of the dreams, but also what are these opening thoughts that you wake up with. That also is almost like an answer from your subconscious. Okay, so I hope this was helpful, and sending you all my love and all the best for this amazing success that is just knocking on your door to come in your life now. Okay, see you in my next reading. Bye. So if you chose the pile 2, then this is your reading. So first, in order to get the overall theme of your reading, we are going to roll the astro dice. We have Jupiter in the 11th house, Sagittarius. The first thing is that you are attracting massive blessings. That's for sure, because 11th house is the natural house of fulfillment of our desires. Jupiter is the planet that is the most generous and giving planet. It shows fulfillment of our desires, it shows blessings. And Sagittarius again is ruled by Jupiter. It shows positivity, optimism, right? And I feel as if there are blessings that you are attracting. If there were any long-term goals, long-term desires that you had and they had not manifested till now, definitely pile 2, you are attracting a lot of wealth. After watching this video, you're going to see that a lot of things have started shifting in your life towards the fulfillment of those desires. Sagittarius also shows higher learning, and it shows spiritual leadership. And so definitely I feel as if you have been looking to get a mentor, having a new teacher, a new mentor, maybe a life coach, maybe a business mentor, some sort of guidance, someone who is going to guide you, is going to bring you massive luck and is going to help you move towards the fulfillment of desires. So if you're asking spirit guides, what is it that you should do to get your next success? Seek out a mentor. Maybe it can be an online course. It could be having a life coach. It could be joining, a community with someone who can guide you. But there is some sort of a teacher who's going to help you towards fulfillment of your desires, and it's going to bring you the guidance that you need to start moving towards the desires. Okay, we have the Hermit in reverse. Hermit in reverse definitely tells me that instead of, relying on your own knowledge, you need to seek out knowledge. Because if the person is within his house, he needs to rely on his own knowledge, what all he already knows, right? His conscious, his subconscious, the inner calling. But since this Hermit is in reverse, I feel you need to seek out other people who can guide you. You need to seek out more information, some course, some guidance, some mentors, some coaches that can help you on this path of yours. Okay, we have the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands reverse. Okay, so the King of Swords talks about having this mental clarity, that you can discern which way to go. And King of Swords is someone who is not scared of saying no. They can lay down their boundaries and they can rely on this intellectual capabilities, right? And definitely the Hermit in reverse and King of Swords, it talks about getting more information and finding the right business coach who has already probably been a master in their field. So for instance, if your long-term desire is to be in the relationship of your dreams, well, in that case, you need to get guidance from someone who has a very good experience in guiding people in relationships. If your long-term desire is having a successful business, then you need to find a coach who can help you in your business. Anything that you desire, you need to find the person who's already like a person of authority, a person of experience, a person of success in that field. That person can help you make the right decisions. And the Queen of Wands in reverse makes me feel this is not the time to go towards your whims and fancies. Like this is not the trial and error type situation. That instead of just doing trial and error and just coming up with some fancy plans or staying in your fantasies and then seeing if it works. So just saying, have a proper plan. Find someone who actually has experience, who actually has expertise in that area. Learn from them. Okay, don't stay in your own zone. Don't work on your whims and fancies. Get the proper expertise, and then that is what will lead to the fulfillment of your desires. That's clearly the message. And you can start small. Like if you don't find anyone who can go to, who can help you with the whole desire that you have, or every aspect of the desire, then okay, start small. Start with one particular desire, one aspect of the desire. Like for instance, if you want a business plan and you don't know someone who can help you with everything, okay, maybe then start with just the marketing part. Whatever, like you can start, wherever you can start there. Cake, interesting. Celebration, ceremony, graduation, wedding. That's beautiful. Considering the first thing that I told you, that you are attracting a lot of luck in your life. Definitely there is some sort of celebration that's going to be happening. I think this is the only thing, like the minute you start having proper structure, instead of just taking random actions, you get a proper structure, you actually learn from something, you're actually going to be very, very successful. And this thing is actually going to lead to fulfillment of your desires. Blinders, victim mentality, confusion, restriction. I think this is your current energy. Currently, you have prevented yourself, like you have almost caused yourself this confusion and this victim mentality by keeping your blinders on, by keeping in your hermit mode. You need to step out, remove the blinders, step out of the victim mentality, step out of your, inner mind, start seeking help, start seeking expertise is what I'm hearing again and again. And then that will just clear your path so quickly. We have old car, weary, retired, exhaustion, old habits die hard. Yeah, definitely, I think you have a tendency of being stuck in old ways, and that is what is keeping you stuck, and that is what is preventing a fast movement towards the fulfillment of your desires. You really need to ask yourself, how can I do different? How can I do things differently? And if you look at the environment today, things are changing so massively. Something that was relevant 5 years ago is not relevant anymore. There's just so many changes. And with the advent of AI, changes are happening, I feel, even more frequently and even more swiftly. And so I think you need to step outside of your blinders, remove your blinders, be open to what's actually happening in the world now, instead of staying in your old ways. And that's where Spirit is saying you're going to find your next success. It's going to be very easy. Once you do this, then things are going to flow like cake. It's going to be like a piece of cake for you to actually manifest the thing that you want to manifest. Believe in yourself. It's okay to have a voice and speak your truth. You are in co-creation with the universe. Yeah, so definitely, you need to have faith in your dreams, and you need to have faith that you can change. A lot of times when, especially when we look at things like AI, it can feel as if I can probably not change. I can, it's too late for me to learn all of this. I cannot do all of it. But Spirit is saying, you know what, you can. Just find the right mentor and you can actually learn whatever it is that you want to learn, even in relationships, right? And so Spirit is saying, you know what, you can change, you can get new information, whatever it is that you're desiring. You just need to find the right mentor. Again and again, I know I'm saying the same thing, but that really seems to be the case for you, pile 2. And once you do that, there's massive luck blessings coming your way. So I hope this was helpful and see you in my next reading. Bye. Hi guys. So if you chose pile 3, then this is your reading. So first, in order to get the overall theme of your reading, we are going to roll the astro dice. We have Moon in the 7th house in the sign of Sagittarius. Beautiful. So, Moon, it talks about emotional nurturing, it talks about our emotional world and everything that brings us this peace, comfort, motherly energy. The 7th house is the house of our partnership. It's a house of our business contact. It's the house of long-term commitments. And that can be in the form of business contacts, business partnerships, or it can be in terms of our relationships. And Sagittarius is the natural 9th house. It's ruled by Jupiter. And Sagittarius, it talks about optimism, spirituality, and it talks about a higher learning. So Moon in 7th house in Sagittarius talks about attracting these positive relationships and partnerships in your life that actually feel like home, because Moon is the ruler of Cancer, the natural 4th house, which shows our home, our emotional roots. And I feel as if either you come into business partnerships with your family members, or you find these business partnerships or personal relationships that feel like home. And I think that is where you're attracting this luck. That is where you need to start investing your energy. Find those right partnerships. It could be brand partnerships. It could be marketing, or in finding the right business contacts. The way to find your next success is to have these right partnerships in your life. So if you're asking Spirit, where will you find your next success? Spirit is saying you are going to find your next success in finding the correct relationships, the correct partnerships that feel like home and that nurture you. There should not be any sense of competition or just a transactional sort of a partnership. Business relationship that feel like home, that become like family, friends like family, anything that brings you this emotional nurturing and that you can really rely on, because 4th house is one of the foundational houses. So partnerships that you can really rely on, you need to actively seek them out now, and you're going to find them, and that's where you're going to find your success. Okay, we have the 2 of Swords in reverse. So if you have been stuck, if there is something that makes you doubt, if there is some partnership that gives you a sort of dilemma, whether this is the right one or not, Spirit is saying that's not the right one. If you have a question, if that thing is not a complete yes, then it's a no. Because these partnerships, they're going to feel so correct. You're not going to have any dilemma. If there are situations that there are people in your life that are making you doubt, that are, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you can rely on them, sometimes you can't. Spirit is saying those are not the relationships that you need to be focusing on. If you really feel that it's not a complete yes, then it's a no. All right, we have the 6 of Swords in reverse. And the Ace of Cups. So another thing I'm hearing is that if There have been cases, where there were arguments in the past, and those relationships are now doing fine. Then that sort of a situation also you should be staying away from, because if you see Six of Swords, it talks about situations that were murky at first, but now they are moving towards calm, clearer waters. But this is in reverse. If there were any situations, any sort of relationships that had a lot of arguments, where there were a lot of misunderstandings all the time, where you didn't feel heard, but now you feel as if, oh, it's improving. Spirit is saying you should let go of them. You need to find this Ace of Cups. You need to find this beautiful fountain, that's flowing out for you, instead of settling for these relationships that are going to give you such tiny bits, and they're just going to breadcrumb you, right? Like, you can't really rely on them. You don't know if it's going to be good today or bad today. You don't know if today I can rely on them or not. That's not the energy Spirit wants you to be in. You need to find these people. Like, if you see, there's this hand coming out of the clouds offering you this huge cup, and that has like so many streams flowing out, and this bird that's just drinking from this elixir. And this imagery, it makes me feel their Spirit is saying you deserve the whole cup. You deserve people that you can rely on every day. You deserve people that have your back always. That's the sort of relationship you need to go into. And see, the seventh house is the long-term partnerships, whether that's business or personal. And any long-term partnership in a situation where, there's so much up and down, where you can't rely them on every day, I think it's going to create too much chaos for you. And that's why Spirit is saying, let go of those situations. You deserve someone who will give you the full cup, who will give you all of their loyalty, all of their reliability, is what I'm hearing. And if you just think of letting go of these situations, it can seem hard, I've seen. But if you think about this beautiful thing that you can actually attract, then somehow making these transitions becomes so much easier. Become your own priority. Yes, beautiful pile 3. You need to focus on you. Right now you're thinking, oh, how will this person feel? How will this person feel? I can't let them go. I've known them for so long. I can't just abandon them. But no, you need to be your own priority. You need to find someone who will fill your cup, who will offer you their own, because you deserve it. You give your own, and you deserve someone who will give you their own. Stop settling for less. Spacious mind and soul. That's the feeling I'm getting again and again. You need to open up your mind to the possibilities. Right now, I feel as if you have restricted. You feel as if this is it. This is how people are. Some days are good, some days are bad. Like, you have almost gaslit yourself that this is as good as it gets. And Spirit is saying, open up your mind. It can get so much better. We are ready to give you so much better if only you let the good flow into your life. Oh my God, you can't make this up, right? Fill up your cup and slow down. Definitely, this is the time for you. You need to focus on yourself. Forget about the people who are creating chaos in your life. Focus on yourself, start filling your cup, and start focusing on the people who are ready to fill your cup every day. Not sometimes, not occasionally, but every day. Okay, we have Phoenix. Transformation and bonfire, enthusiasm and energy. Definitely, there is like a complete transformation that you need to attract in your life. Be filled with this energy of enthusiasm for this new life that you're creating. Let go of your worries about the people you are letting go of. Okay, that's not your concern. Be so attracted to the new life that you're creating that you don't have time to think about who is, feeling bad. Okay, it's okay to have a voice and speak your truth. Exactly. Pile 3, you deserve the happiness too. Share your cares. And one more. The very thing that challenges you can be transformed into your greatest strength. There are two messages that I'm getting from this. First, I think what you should do is in your existing relationship, you should try talking to them. Share your cares, and maybe sometimes, when something has gone through a lot of challenges, that can actually become the strongest. But you need to make sure that you are sharing your concerns and that your concerns are being addressed to. You need to make sure that you are being supported in the fullest. And another thing can be that you find someone that you can actually share your deepest concerns with, and your secrets are going to be safe. You don't have to keep watching your back all the time while sharing something with them. You know that they have your back. You know that, you can trust them completely. So I hope this was helpful, pile 3. See you in my next reading. Bye.